there, or welcome back to No Pants Profits. My name is Richard. Today I'm coming to you from Mobile, Alabama, right off of I-10, with a very loud guy who's just going around the parking lot in his motorcycle. Yes, and one of the main attractions to see in Alabama, specifically in the southern part of Alabama, right on the coast, is the USS Alabama. Now, what is the USS Alabama? Honestly, we're here today to figure that out. I know it's a tourist attraction. I know it's a big old boat. You can see them right over there. I don't know the history of it. I don't know anything about it. The one thing I do know is you get here right on I-10, which is, I'm doing a road trip right now across I-10. So you get here right on I-10. This is my third stop, fourth stop. It just depends if you count Buc-ee's and that as stops. You get here right off I-10. It's about 2 miles off of I-10. It is $18 per person as of March 2025 to get in. And if you do have a AAA card, or if you pick up one of these guys, it's a little brochure for it, you can get $2 off. So it's only $16 a person. If you do it that way, there are a bunch of tanks and planes and stuff like that, but right out front, there's the bell for the USS Alabama, one of the most famous retired battleships that you can visit in America. I don't know the full story behind it, why it's so important and things like that, but guess what? We're going to learn that together over the next hour or so as we tour the Alabama. There's supposed to be a submarine on property. There's a lot of planes we can go see. So join with me as we ring the imaginary bell on the USS Alabama and take a tour around her. I think it's a she. Most ships are she's. That's all I'm saying. You know, before we go any further, I forgot one thing, and I'm glad I remembered it before we go in. I do remove my hat. I know it's kind of a trademark of this channel. I'm not a stolen valor kind of guy. So if I go to any military, religious, anything sites like that, I just leave this in the car. So I got to go back and drop this in the car, and then we're going to go explore the USS Alabama. Hatless. Feels a little weird, especially for the channel, but you see. All right, so now hatless. We're at the entrance, which again, there's a lot of stuff out here. Like that's a B-15 bomber. Looks like it should still be around. Just saying. Looks like a nice plane that should probably still be flying. I'm not one to judge that, but we're gonna jump in the entrance. We're gonna see the big boat first. The USS, which stands for United States Ship. I had to Google that, sorry. USS Alabama, and the USS Drum, which I think the USS Drum is the submarine, which is not in the water, it's out of the water. But the Alabama is, I believe, still floating, yeah. Permanently docked here. So we're gonna jump in for our $16 and see what's going down. All right, so we'll talk admission prices. Just so you know, it is $5 to park for a regular vehicle and $30 for an oversized vehicle, an RV or something like that. Adult ticket price, $18. Senior ticket, $15. Active duty military, free. And you have the different prices on dependents. U.S. veteran discount, $15. Child ticket, you can see right there. And if you have a AAA card, or you can just pick this up at any hotel or visitor center, and it gives you $2 off, up to 6 adults. So I don't think it reduces the kids' prices, but gives you $2 off up to 6 adults. There's a whole inside area here. So, you know, if you got bad weather, you got a whole inside area. But it's great weather today. It's March, and it's like 72 degrees outside. So I'm not angry. The one thing I will say is they have a single person selling admissions. Yes, I know it's a Sunday. Yes, I know we're in Alabama, but there's a single person selling admission. All right, so we got a little paper guide right here. Ooh. And it's a self-guided little tour. You can see what's going on here. It says visitors are cautioned that the condition of the battleship submarine offer many hazards, including low doorways, high door stills, and obstructions around the deck. Please be careful. Okay. Will do. Now look at that. You can get dog tags made. What do they charge for a dog tag? $15 for a dog tag. This is like, literally, this is the machine that sells tags to put on your dog, which, I mean, I guess are technically still dog tags. But got restrooms in here, but let's get started. Your contribution donations, the tour of the drum. So submarine USS Drum was commissioned in 1941. Door openings are called hatches, and the battleship was commissioned in 1942. So, oh wow. You can look at all these different Route A, Route B, Route C, below deck, stern of ship, forward part of ship. There's a lot of different tours we can do right here. So here is a bit of that, but let's start with the ship. You got battleship or submarine. Choose your own adventure. My adventure says battleship. So let's go to the battleship. All right, come. Battleship. Well, it doesn't look that big by ship standards. If you watch this channel, normally we're on cruise ships. They're the tiniest cruise ship I've ever seen. It's not an aircraft carrier, I don't think. Probably helicopters can land on it. Not an aircraft carrier. I toured the battleship. So yeah, you have a couple different routes. As you reach the top of the gangway, you come aboard the battleship. You can go along the side up, and there are each route takes approximately 30 minutes. Okay. Well, let's decide what we're going to do. I don't know. Do we go Route A, Route B, Route C? We're going to go below decks, start of the ship. This tour includes the crew's living spaces, the crew galley, the bakery, the brig, barbershop. I feel like we're going on a cruise ship tour. Hey there, welcome to the USS Arizona. So it's kind of moored here. It's kind of weird because on Google Maps I saw it like this and I was like, there's no way that's real. They've kind of built a protective barrier around it, but it is still floating in what I assume is, sorry guys, Gulf of America. Don't know if it's going to stay that name forever, but legally right now, it is Gulf of America. So we're on the forward deck right here. Looks like we have some volunteers on board and everything like that. This one, you can get to the front of the ship without paying for a suite. Follow soon. So you've got all the different tours. But for now, let's go check out the front. Wow, this is really well restored or kept up. I mean, it looks in better shape than this deck is in better shape than any cruise ship I've ever been on. Oh look, and they've got some guns here. They got some guns here. Now we're getting into the less maintained part. That deck though is beautiful. Those big guns. Wow. Let's see what we got here. Armor-piercing projectile. Oh god. It travels at a speed of 2,300 feet per second, or 1,568 miles per hour, more than twice the speed of sound. They're accurate up to 20.97 miles away. And that's what came out of those big boys. Kind of crazy. That's me. That's bullet. Well, missile. I wouldn't say bullet, I'd say missile. And now we are at the front of the boat. It is a windy day. Well, yeah, we're here right in the front. There's a crane, everything like that. And there's a gun deck. This looks automated. It's a quadruple mount, so it's got 4 guns on it. It's a forward-facing gun deck. It's kind of wild. There's another one over here. I can show you. It's a quadruple mount gun. 4 big guns. Let's go ahead and let's go to the tour entrance. This just seemed to be the stand on the ship and see what's going down entrance. I'm going to stop this for a second just to take some pictures on the front of the boat. But yeah, this is the tour entrance. We're going to start the tour in just a moment. I don't know which color tour we're going to go on first, but we'll take a look at some of the different living quarters and everything like that. Yeah, those are really cool. And they've got protective barriers to prevent them from getting rusted or anything like that. I assume these are moving parts right here. Let's just see. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Just how well maintained this all is. I'll see you at the start of one of the tours. The tour entrance right there behind me on the boat. See you in a minute. All right, so we're not at the start of the tour yet, but here's the National Historic Landmark. This site became a National Historic Landmark in 1986. So this ship has been decommissioned in here since before I was alive. Wow. So, Battleship camouflage. When it was first commissioned, the Alabama was painted shades of blue and gray in a dapple pattern. She was repainted for her first combat deployment so that her gray superstructure would blend in with the sky and her blue hull would be less visible against the ocean. Painted entirely blue in 1944. She'd be less noticeable from Japanese aircraft in 1945. She reverted. Wow. So, yeah, 1942 was painted kind of camouflagey, and then 1943 was painted to kind of match the sky and the sea. 1944 it was all sky. 1945 it was sky and sea. 1947 is pretty much how it is now. That's kind of cool how it's changed colors. So the sister ship to the Alabama is the USS Massachusetts, Indiana, and South Dakota. So you'll see executive officer. She arrived in Mobile. Opened to the public 1965. Sorry, so this has been a lot longer than I thought it has been. I thought it was just 86. It was a National Historic Landmark in 86, but it's been here in Mobile, Alabama since 1965. 9th of January 1965. Actual weight when fully loaded, 42,500 tons. Again, war 2,500 men, peacetime 1,785 men. Got the power plant, the propellers, the ship speed. It can go 28 knots, 32 miles per hour. That is pretty fast. So let's go ahead. I think the guide says to do the red tour first. So we'll do the red tour. And I think the tours are based on the doors. There's different colored doors for the different color tours. So that's tour entrance. All right. Smells like a ship. Those are really stairs they expect you to go down, I guess. That's a little steep. Yellow tour. I guess we're going the yellow tour route first. Yellow tour. So there's a bit of a museum here of the different campaigns the ship has done. Imperial Japanese Navy. That seems to be a Japanese flag. From where? The Imperial Japanese Rear Admiral's flag. This flag was obtained by American Marines sometime during August or September 1945 at the naval base. It was common during the occupation for American forces to take souvenirs home with them. Some were taken from the Japanese military, although it was not uncommon for Americans to barter for much sought after Japanese items. So this is where it's kind of been. Japan, New Guinea, Marshall Islands, Gilbert Islands. So that's the different the battle stars of where it's been. So that's it over in Japan. Again, Caroline Islands, never heard of that. I know Guam, New Guinea, the Gilbert Islands. Okay. So there is a theater in here. If you want to watch a Battleship YouTube. Oh, I guess they have a YouTube channel. Huh. Marvel at the Battleship on YouTube. And then you've got artifacts from the ship. So they just kind of reused These are World War II U.S. Navy ships. Baltimore class, Cleveland class, Brooklyn class, Portland class, Pensacola class, Summers class, St. Louis class, Wichita class, Benson class, Raven class, Buckley class, Dixie class, Cameron class, Fulton class, Curtis class. There's a lot of classes. There's a lot of classes. I'm kind of scared at the stairs we might have. Oh, here we go. So we've found our way onto the yellow tour, which we have this guide. It tells us a bit about the green tour. Somehow we've walked into the last tour. And it looks like this should be the mass. No, yeah. It's a little kitchen-y. Yeah. So yeah, this is the mass. Again, there's 2,500 people in here during wartime. We've got the yellow tour. Begins in the main exhibit. You can learn about the history of the ship, the park, and you can see the exhibit Homefront American Civilians at War. After visiting the theater, proceed into the officer's wardroom, where you find ship's silver service display. So this is the officer's kitchen. And that's how it was set up. It's a picture of it back in the day. Okay, so we're going to leave the wardroom. And now we're going to look at the officer's stateroom. I don't know about these hatches. Don't miss out on what's below deck. Oh, you can tell the engine room. You're on main deck. No loafing. Is that an actual bathroom? I mean, it looks to be an actively used bathroom. It's a women's room though. Really don't want to go in there much anymore. That is an officer's room. You cannot go in there. You can kind of see what the officer rooms were like. Another officer's room right there. Oh my, this really is very much self-guided. Very, very much self-guided. That was the women's room, okay. Here is, you can see lower end officer's room right here. Let's take the yellow tour. See what we find on the yellow tour. Male restrooms this way. So we can take a look at the bathroom real quick. These are like in the actual, they've modernized it. But these are pretty much like the actual restrooms that were on the boat back in the day. It's kind of wild. They didn't really modernize it. I think the light switch even works. Oh, that's cool. Okay. That's the actual men's restroom. I don't have to men's restroom right now. Sweeper's locker. There are any sweeper's lockers throughout the naval vessel. Sailors are expected to keep the ship clean and tidy. Such these lockers contain basic cleaning supplies that a ship may need. Many sailors are familiar with the call. Sweepers, man your brooms. Give the ship a clean sweep down both fore and aft. Sweep down the decks, the ladders, passageways. Dump all the garbage clear of the fantail. And then there's the accessible bathroom. All right, I think we're going to continue this tour. Yeah, which is the yellow tour. And this is taking us around. I'm questioning whether that was the front or the back before. Okay. Yeah. Leave the room. Officer staterooms. After viewing turret 1, we then proceed to forecastle. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so these have numbers on them. Who would have thought? The machine guns 5 and 6. There's machine guns. Perfecto. So, yellow. Okay, here we go. So now we're at 7. See, it's a yellow 6 and a yellow 7. They color and number coded this. And I still got lost. So this is the front of the boat. Ooh. Very similar to the back. What you'll see, it's a water knife. It has many roles. It was used for mine clearing. So this guy was used for mine clearing. All moored lines would make contact with the tow line, possibly cutting it off. The line would slide, so they would use this. You just started the vessel once. Oh, okay. In service, it would have been painted to match the camouflage of the ship. Cool. So that's a literal minesweeper. Maybe even where the minesweeper name came from. Then we've got, this is the front of the boat. And this is very, very steep terrain here. But we're getting towards the front. More guns. More guns. Of course. What'd you guess? More guns. Again, we got a lot of stuff out here. A lot of different planes and tanks and stuff of the sort. Yeah, there's the front of her. That's the money shot right there. For sure. That is the money shot right there. This is where the anchor actually is. I mean, we're still in the sea. So I would assume this is still very much seaworthy. It's kind of walled off. But yeah, these are, it's actually quite impressive how well this is maintained. But it is a National Historic Landmark. Oh, that is a pretty steep incline right there. And now we are at the front of the boat in Mobile, Alabama. I'm going to stop the recording for just a minute because you've been listening to me talk for too long. I'm going to explore a little bit myself, and then I'll bring you back in if I find something cool. Or should I say, when I find something cool. I'll show you the galley, the engine room, all kinds of fun stuff. So once I find that, I'll bring you back on this video. Stick around. It's kind of wild that these are just beds out in the middle of a hallway per se. Somehow we got on the green tour. I think we could track where we are. So somehow we got on the green tour. This is, that's the sergeant's office. The first sergeant's office. 4th Division Mail, Marine Landing Force, yeah. So, it's kind of really interesting. It's like a time capsule that's been kept exactly as it should be. Got lockers, everything like that. Here's another look at kind of the bunk area. Yeah, you got a bunch of bunks back there. And then you got the senior Nico berthing. So this room is where Alabama's 2 Marine senior non-commissioned officers slept. First Sergeant Gunnery Sergeant functioned as second-level supervisors and technical leaders. They monitored the junior Nicos and advised officers aboard the ship on matters relating to their areas of responsibility. All right. Again, somehow we're on the green tour. Oh, look. Here's the tailor shop. Let me see if I can walk on any line. Yeah, so you can actually see the tailor shop. Part-time position, the Marine tailor was responsible for making all major and minor clothing and uniform repairs and fitting clothes and uniforms for both enlisted Marines and officers. And he would do the new rank insignia on the uniforms of enlisted men who have been promoted. Oh, that's what these are. These are rifle racks. Marines stored their rifles in these racks when they weren't cleaning and polishing them. And we've got the Marine pressing shop. So, now you can see, there you go, you can see the presses. It's amazing. It's very similar. If you've ever done a behind-the-scenes tour on a cruise ship, it's very similar to the uniform shops they have. Kind of wild. Oh, look. There's this place for overnight groups. It says scouts only. Sorry, no visitors. Oh. So I guess you can actually stay here. on the ship if you wanted to overnight. Kind of wild. Really, really wild. Overnight groups only. And here's the storage. This is where spare equipment, special items issued for particular occasions are kept in here. So that's a storage facility right there. All right, I'm gonna get down to another deck, down another area, show you a bit around. There's no way to be able to show you this whole thing because it's massive. And that's an understatement. Massive is definitely an understatement. All right, so here is the radio room down here. We are a couple decks down off the main deck, and you can see the radio room right here. Let's see what else we got. That looks to be power. 40 volt, 42 volt, 48 volt, 50 volt, 52 volt, 54 volt, 60 volt, 62 volt, 66 volt, sorry. So it goes from 62 volt down to 6 volt, 8 volt, and 16 volts. So you have the different power settings. I think we're getting nearer the engine room. It's an X-ray dark room. So we might be near the medical facility. There's a dentist. Well, multiple dentists when you have 2,500 people. That's something you don't have on a cruise ship. Dentist, that's what the X-ray machine's for. So we're now in the medical area of this boat. Isolation ward. Danger of an infectious disease spreading to the cargo ship was high. Every effort was made to isolate such cases from the rest of the crew. So it's literally the isolation room. And they close and lock that door. A view of the crowded conditions. It's vital to have an area to keep crewmen infected with contagious diseases. Hash the isolation room. Let's see. We're going back a bit. Oh, there's the medical ward. Yeah, there's the different tour routes. So yellow is all outside. Sorry, I messed that one up. We weren't supposed to go inside for the yellow tour. Smart Ridge. So the tour routes, yeah, that's the main. Then we're on the green tour right now. So you'll see here are all the beds and other equipment right there. Here's just a standard infirmary, I would say. A lot of voltage things. Flounding station. Flooding station, sorry. Located on the deck just above the waterline, the main function. Flooding stations was to counterbalance the ship with weight. Oh, it's a ballast station. That's what that is. No admittance. That's the operating room. Whoa. That's pretty wild. They have an OR here. But I mean, I guess you have to. Scalpel knife, so there's clamps, gauze, familiar words. Steady sounds of the anesthesia. Heart machine, anesthesia machine, heart monitors, soft clanking, surgical tools. They did have an operating room in here. And I think we are out of the medical area now. Nope. There's the surgical dressing room. This is just the medical wing. It's wild. Yeah. There's the laboratory, I would assume. Bacteriology. Including a medical laboratory where infectious and non-infectious diseases can be studied. Blood and urine samples are analyzed to detect abnormalities and to help detect various types of shipboard illnesses. Eat that there. Eat that Theranos. Yeah. So this is still medical. You can see they were open from 8 to 9 in the morning, and then 1 to 2 in the afternoon for like general appointments. Passage to access trunk. Yeah, that's a locked door. We're not going anywhere there. See if we find another interesting area of the ship, and I'll show you. Kind of wild in how close quarters all this was. Like, this is the doctor's office as I'm leaving. You'll see it's pretty normal looking, but on about the time frame. And then literally right across from the doctor's office, weapon storage. All those big things we saw on deck. I assume these are all inert now. That's wild. So they're on a turntable. And you can technically, this is the main battery. 16-inch, 0.45 Mark 6 guns. And for some reason, we can go down this staircase. So we go. These stairs are very steep. Very steep. Oh my. That's wild. So that's the bottom of one of those big guns. So that is the bottom of one of those big gun turrets. It's pretty cool how you have pretty much free reign to look around this entire boat. Not something I've ever seen in a museum of sorts before. Usually it's, very sterilized and everything like that. This feels like they could shoot a movie here. They probably have. But they could. I know it's not a movie set, but it so looks like a movie set because I guess these are the kinds of places the movies get the inspiration from. It's wild. Let me see if I can find some other stuff. But yeah, that's the under. This is the under of one of those gun turrets, and there's all the bullets above and all the workings down below. Oh. What's wild, and you probably won't even be able to hear it, is some of these switches are still connected. I don't think they do anything, but when I hit this, that's just kind of wild. You wouldn't expect them to still be connected. That's how kind of wild and wacky this is. Let's go back this way. This is the central station. The ship's third and fourth steering stations. It navigated entirely from this compartment during general operations. The captain was on the battle bridge, while the executive officer was in the central station. This is where the master gyro compass is housed, feeding all the repeater compasses on the ship. That's pretty cool. Usually there's beds there so people can sleep in here. It looks like a lot of it's still kind of powered up. And I would think that's real. What's cool is even things so simple like this speaker. I assume this is original. It's still playing. It's just so wild. Sometimes you just see wild and crazy things like that. This seems to be I don't know what this is. Gun director, range keeper, a shop of some sorts. Oh. Keep going lower. Looking for the engine controller, or the engine room. Secondary battery pirating. Plotting room, sorry. The Navy roof, most of the equipment in this room before the Battleship came to Mobile has to be used in new ships being built which have the same kind of guns. So it is where the fire control problem to aim 5 guns was solved. Okay, so this is how you aim all the guns. This is literally a gun aiming room. Kind of weird. Well, this is what we were looking for, and the main reason you come to the bottom of the boat Let's go to the engine room. Oh, I don't know how I feel about these stairs. Now we're doing it. If you have a stair problem, you probably don't want to come here. You probably don't want to come here. This is somewhere, I've been here on a cruise ship in the engine room like twice. I worked on ships for 7 years. And I've been to the engine room on cruise ships twice. Wow. Now, I don't know if that whirring is just fake noise put in here, but I think we're as low as you can get on here in the actual engine room. Yeah, there is lower, but they're not going to let you down there. You can go down below the engines. I don't think this noise is pumped in. I think so. I mean, it would be a lot hotter if they're using anything, to be honest, down here. You can see the actual engine. It's probably just some air conditioning units and stuff like that. Genuinely don't know if anything's actually running down here in the engine room or not. I'm going to go with the or not, but I could also be wrong. I think it's just air conditioning equipment that's down here making this noise. But it's kind of wild. Yeah, this is just air conditioning equipment that they put down here when they laid the ship up. But yeah, here's the, oh my, just have like free reign. Alright, it just stopped. Okay, that's noise. Alright. It's fake. They had me for a minute. Some of it's air conditioning noise. Some of it's piped in. Make it sound like an engine room, but not too loud. See what else we can find here. We'll find the kitchen, the galley, those kinds of things. Stick around. Oh yeah, here's the Combat Information Center. This is where they knew what was going on. Sonar, radar. They have the classic Combat Information Center board. You've seen this in Star Wars and other stuff like that before. It's kind of wild to see this in real life. I'm throwing this one in because looking to find my way out, I've come across the dispensary, which I would assume is the pharmacy on board. This is a very wild mess to know how to get out of, and there's this yellow track that's hanging from the ceiling that I assume was to move people around through the medical center. So it's just me talking. But it's like a big hanging yellow track that goes all the way through the medical center here. It goes past the clerical office, past the bacteriological lab, goes all the way around, up, down, around. Let's see this elsewhere on the boat. It ends right over there. I don't remember how I got here. So let's figure out how to get out of here. Should have followed the directions. Oh no. This is the first thing I saw. So there might be an upstairs somewhere here. It says I'm down. I got no cell signal or anything. Gotta find a way up. Hopefully. This reminds me of a deep brewing from the other night. Kind of strange, kind of wild.
This is our U.S. Navy standard diving apparatus called a Schrader pump.
Oh, and you come this way.
Very similar to the engine in your car, but upside down.
That's the pump.
This wheel was turned by
so that's how they get air.
One or two standing by.
That's how they get air to the people that were diving.
This wheel turns the crankshaft you see on top.
Kind of wild.
This forces down the piston, sending air to the diver below.
Yep, that's how they got air when they're in those diving suits. Kind of cool. Another interesting thing down here is actually the chapel. So, There's a little piano and everything. I mean, for 1,800 people, there looks like there's room for maybe 30, 40 people in there at most. But, you know, that is the chapel. They did have a chapel on board the Alabama. It is absolutely amazing the access you can get here. Like, you can get inside the turrets while you're down in the engine room. Looks like you can go all the way up here. Oop. Yeah. This is an all-day activity for sure, for sure. I assume that's downtown Mobile. We've still got much more of this ship to explore, and the sub to explore too. So trying to see as much of this as I can. I'm not going to bring it all to you on video just because it's going to be a 3-hour long video. I've been here about an hour and 20 minutes so far. Oh, we're going to the bridge. Hell yeah. I keep you around for that. Now the bridge would face the front of the boat. Oh, there's the bridge. It says enter here, but it looks kind of locked. No, it's not. There's the actual bridge. Can't get in there. It looks like they boarded it up from the front. There's all the bridge equipment. Charting. It really is a museum of sorts. That's the Battle Bridge. Oh, good God, you can actually go in this way. Oh. So yeah, this is the Battle Bridge. This is the bridge they would go in if they were in battle. Because it was well protected, kind of like a bunker of sorts. Let me jump out of this. So it would lock up and be the bridge. And I think there's probably, yeah, there's a non-battle bridge up there. I think we can see. I was not expecting this level of access. Yeah, here's the normal bridge. So you have the normal bridge, and then behind the normal bridge you have the battle bridge, which we're in. And then these are the little windows that look out from the battle bridge. This is just solid steel, so if the ship gets hit by something, the captain doesn't. Interesting concept right there, isn't it? All right, so this seems to be the highest accessible point we can get to on the boat. It is 120 feet above sea level, and the sea is right there. That's downtown Mobile. And yeah, that's the highest we can get. I'm going to look, see if we can find the galley or some other fun places. But yeah, there's a lot of stairs here, and they're very steep. Very, very, very steep. So just be aware if you're here. You got some stairs coming. Well, we were talking about movies and TV shows and looking like a movie set. Well, this was the set for Under Siege, the movie with Steven Seagal and Tommy Lee Jones back in 1992. And some other stuff too, but Under Siege is the most famous one that I see on this list. And they even shot an episode of Unsolved Mysteries here. And they left the hat. We've seen a lot of the green tour, we've seen a lot of the yellow tour. We haven't seen a lot of the red tour. So I want to try and catch some of the red tour, which is down in the front of the boat. We'll see the non-officer mess and everything like that. That's where I think it'd be. So let's try and find the red tour. We've already seen the other colors. Kind of weird how you keep seeing these things. I said you as in you. This is like a Carousel of Progress-like scene, but a little bit more creepy. See a boy and his dog, the dad, the mom. Is everyone there? Of course I can. I'm patriotic as can be, and ration points won't worry me. See what this is about. Canning is a process that allows for preservation of food, later consumption. Canned more than 4.1 billion jars. Wow. Could supplement food supplies during rationing. Normal ration for sugar was 5 pounds one condition, the local ration for up to 20. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, look, I found the start of the Red Tour. Oh. These stairs. Killers. Start of the Red Tour. I'll show you anything interesting I find along the way. Now we're getting to the good part. Here's the bakery. So this is the bakery on board. See the baker there with the bread, the proofers and everything like that. You got, again, they had to feed up to 2,500 people, 3 meals a day. So, gotta have those carbs going. Again, you got some pumped in sound here. Definitely pumped in sound. Damn, that opens up into the machine shop. And you can see, remember that yellow thing we saw down in medical? It's not yellow here, but that's totally, it's for moving things around. I think in medical it might have been for moving people around, but because there's so many doorways you can step up on. You see, I don't know what's yellow back here. It just seems to be kind of a transit system. The galley. We got some sausages. Where are the eggs? Where are the eggs? I don't see any eggs. Oats. Kellogg's Bran Flakes. Kellogg's Pep. Now we're starting to get the normal seats for the mess here. The standard staff mess. We are here. Okay, I know where we are now. We've gone to that area. I do want to see the movie theater, which is number 3. It's back a little bit. It said there was a movie theater here. Let's see if we can find the movie theater. But yeah, that is the galley, and you'll see everything going down in the galley right there. And there's all the people in the galley. So this is the petty officer mess right here. So we got the petty officer mess and mail. Do not seal letters because they would check them and make sure there's no classified information in there. But this is actually U.S. letter pickup twice daily. Do not seal envelopes. These are the different ranks that were available there. The term Chief Petty Officer was first used by Master at Arms in 1865. Regulations time stated that the Master Officer was the Chief Petty Officer of the ship on which he serves. Okay. Interesting. This is a store. The U.S. Navy supplied their sailors with almost everything they needed. Non-issued items were available, and that's called GI, government issued. I learned that. Non-issued items were available for private purchase at the ship's store. Anything from candy bars and cigarettes and toiletries stationary for sale. The Navy didn't issue shaving gear or writing supplies, so they'd have to pay for those small items. It allowed sailors a bit of normalcy. Yeah, so here's the candy bars of the time. And all the other stuff at the time. Cigarettes. Philip Morris before it was renamed to Altria Group. And Butterfingers. Yeah, these are the tables for the normal enlisted men to sit at. There's just so much here. It is a full day activity. Wow. Note the shrapnel holes. Look at that, that's a flag. The Evans room. This is the Evans flag. Crazy. Crazy. That is. No, it's not this ship because the guns don't have 3 guns on it. It's a different ship. Let's see what that is. That is USS Evans. Oh, that's a ship. Evans. Hey, look, you can see the other side of the galley too. You see the different cakes and stuff like that. Looks like oatmeal or grits, chicken, there's a turkey in the oven. And you got the cooks right there. Yeah, this is all kept in like amazingly good shape. And even where you would pick up your dishware, and water fountains. And I refilled this water bottle at not this water fountain, but a different water fountain. Really quite crazy. This is the canned goods storage. So they would obviously store the canned goods very near to the kitchen. Again, I'm showing you a fraction of this in this video. And I already think the video is too long, but yeah, pretty cool. And that's the Chief Master at Arms. The head enlisted police force on the battleship. The Chief Master at Arms was the law. He was the sheriff, and the Master of Arms force were his deputies. He was referred to as Jimmy Legs. He kept order on board the ship. Depending on the severity of infraction, a sailor could find himself temporarily in the temporary brig or main brig. Actually, we gotta find the brig. Let me go see if I can find that on the map, and we can go down to the brig. I can show you where that is. Another interesting place. This is the butcher shop, where the butcher would cut up meat. Slicers, weighing things, and hacksaws, and all that down in the butcher shop here, right over by where the food was made. And yeah, they had plenty of outlets. And I've seen things plugged into these outlets, so these outlets actually work. It's interesting, much like modern day cruise ships, they would pulp all their food waste and eject it out to sea. This is the garbage disposal room. I'd say primarily for food waste. But it doesn't specify here. Garbage is brought to this compartment to be ground up in the machines in front of you, is then flushed overboard or underwater so that it would not leave a visible trail behind the ship. So I guess when this ship was in operation, they were still dumping trash in the ocean. I guess. End of red tour. Continue forward. Start green here. Oh, we'll see the one thing we missed, which was the movie theater. That's number 3 on the green tour. Okay, here's garbage stowage. This is where they would keep the trash, and they would burn the trash. There you go. There's the incinerator back there. So yeah, that grind up was just for food waste. So they were grinding. Okay. No worries. Here we go. Number 3. Oh, what is that? They have flags from other ships. This is the flag. Marines Battle Ensign. USS Alabama's one of their many battle ensigns. This would be flown from the main cast when it was underway. It was removed from the battleship by the crewmen, and yeah, this is the main flag. I think, how many states do we have then? Sorry. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. By 9 times 6. No, that can't be right. 1, 2, 8 times 6. Okay. Welcome to my crazy driving brain. 8 times 6. 48. Yeah, that's before Alaska and Hawaii. I thought that was right. That is before Alaska and Hawaii. We got number 3. The movie theater. Motion picture locker. Hollywood movies and technical training films were shown to the officers during the war. Movies were shown on the fantail on a large screen in non-combat zones. Would take place in the crew's messing apartments on the wardroom in bad weather, so they would actually show it outside. Wow. Notice the bunk beds and film equipment in this room. This is where the film operator worked and slept. Scattered throughout the room were various projectors, film slicing machines, movie storage containers, and a megaphone used for outdoor announcing of the ship's band and movie showtime. When the ship's band has stopped playing, it's showtime. You know, when movies were shown on the ship's fantail, many crewmen sat on turret 3, considered to be the best viewing in the house. So that's literally where the movie guy slept. I wouldn't think there's a movie guy on the ship, but it's the movie guy's place of sleeping. I just think it's so cool how all these things were on these boats back in the day. You got a print shop, you have a photographer's lab, and all these different things back here. The last thing I want to find on this boat before we leave is in the bridge, in the galley. I've seen a lot more of it than you have, and I feel like I've seen almost nothing, which is kind of wild. But I want to find the brig. Laundry. Oh, there you go. There's the laundry. The pressing. It's my first military ship I've toured. And it's a lot like, if you want to know what behind the scenes of a cruise ship looks like, this is kind of where it comes from. This is the shoe shop, the cobbler shop. And then you have the ship's laundry. So more about that, but we saw the laundry from the other angle as well. Fascinating. But we must make it to the brig. To the brig. Barbershop. 5 chairs or so? Yeah, 5 chairs in there. And the barbers, I guess, would sleep in there too. You kind of see there's beds in there. It's kind of wild. Full service barbershop. Washing hair before or after the cut. To comply with hygiene regulations, they were sterilized after each use. Electric hair clippers were invented in 1921, produced in his home basement. Barbers were assigned to the ship service division. Ship barber, well, that's an actual picture of what's going on in the barbershop. And there's the barbershop. It's kind of cool. Admirals, captains of the ship were given a certain amount of leeway. However, for example, Alabama crewmen were known to have had beards, especially during the North Atlantic and Arctic Circle convoy. Beards were less popular during Pacific operations. Interesting. Right, so I think the last things I'm going to show you on the ship are the lucky bag, also known as lost and found. And if you left something in lost and found, you would get fined, or what did it say? They said, with so many people in such close proximity, it's not hard to imagine men losing clothing or other items. When it happened, the items were brought to the lucky bag by a master at arms. Claimed items would cost the man a fine or extra duty. Unclaimed items would be auctioned off, and the funds went to the general fund of the Treasury Department. To give you an idea, several sailors in the USS Yosemite were given 72 hours of extra duty for having an article in the lucky bag. Then next to the lucky bag, you've got the athletic locker. So, but the weirdest one, the pièce de résistance here, is the brig. The jails. Where they would put someone when they did something bad. Oh, there's 4 brig cells here. Military life is maintained by regulations. Following orders when a sailor disobeyed orders, he was put on report. Often this resulted in disbarred extra, some kind, including confinement and jail time, could range from hours to weeks depending on the offense. It was recorded in the brig log. Brig, okay. Stockade or guardhouse are used by the Army and Air Force, while brig is used by the Navy and Marines. The Navy and Marines are at sea. It just looks like a big open room. We are, I believe, underwater level right now. And you will see the brig. Let's go back out to the main deck and we'll close up our visit to the Alabama. We still got the submarine to visit, but that's going to be in another video because this one's gone on long enough. So let's go ahead. We'll close out our visit to the USS Alabama, and the submarine is just kind of a bonus. So yeah, we're leaving the USS Alabama now. This has gone on a little too long. You probably saw a third of what I actually saw. I was in there for 2.5 hours or so. So I was in there for quite a long time, and there's still a lot more to see. But wrapping it up from the USS Alabama, this is Rich from No Pants Profits, reminding you that when you wear no pants, the only thing you got left to lose is your shirt. And if you're coming down I-10, or you're in the Mobile, I don't know how you say it, Alabama area, definitely come check out the USS Alabama. It's a very interesting piece of history, fantastically preserved. great one. Bye.